Hi, this is Linica. I'm going to be doing a quick video explaining the rules for this coming Monday's tournament, and also just want to let y'all know I'm back. Sorry I wasn't able to host a tournament this last Monday or make out any videos for y'all because my computer's been out of commission. Finally got the part early this morning, so I'm back, but sorry there was this big week of no videos for me. Hopefully I'll be able to get several videos out in the near future though, so I'm looking forward to that. But go ahead and get down to business, talk about the rules for this coming tournament. I have a couple new ideas that I want to try out, some suggestions that have been requested, so give them a shot. The first of those is that we're going to be doing teams this time, and what I'm really excited about for teams is it'll allow everybody to get to play a lot more battles. The reason for that is, first of all, matches are going to be, instead of best 2 out of 3 games, they're just going to be a flat 3 games against each opponent, and there is no single elimination anymore. It's going to be everybody fights against everybody on the other team. So, if say we have 10 people, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and /roll after we get into a party, and all the higher rolls, all the higher numbers will be put in Team A, all the lower rolls will be put in Team B, and if we have an odd number of people, like say we have 11 people, then that person who gets the middle, the roll right in the middle is just going to be put in Team A, and they'll have a slight advantage, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll just have an even number of players and it'll work out. And if something like, we have only 5 people participating and it would be a very odd distribution of 3 versus 2, then we could just go back to every man for himself and do single elimination with finals and everything. But what'll happen if we can do teams is everybody's going to fight against everybody on the other team, 3 fights per match, and the way it'll work is it'll be a point system. So if you win a battle, you get a point. If you lose a battle, you get no points. And if you get a draw, then the pets involved in the draw are allowed to be reused against that opponent for the next battle if you want, or in the future, just once. But nobody gets a point. So if there's a draw, you'll you'll choose your team. If you want, you can use the pets that are involved in that last fight, but you don't have to, and you'll just fight again. So, for example, if I'm fighting against Nathan and I beat him the first 2 games, even though I've already beat him 2 games, it's not best 2 out of 3 anymore. We're still going to fight a 3rd game, and if, say, we draw on the 3rd game, like it's a tie, we don't just end there, even though we fought three games. We're still going to fight again to see who wins. So, trying to think what other rules there and logistics there are before I talk about the meta. It's going to be right here on the map. If you see, it's at about coordinate 5364. It's on this little area in this circle in the middle of the crossroads, which is between Orgrimmar and the Orc starting zone. So if it's your first time joining us, just create a level 1 Orc or level 1 Troll if you want. Troll starting zones down here, so it's not too far away, and just join us right here. I recommend not using a Hunter or a Warlock because those 2 classes have undismissible pets at low level. So you have a big, giant fat pig following you around if you're a hunter, or I believe it's an imp, which is less annoying, but it's still a pet that you can't get rid of, unlike a companion pet, and it's going to be following you around, getting in the middle of the pet battles, and just generally being in the way and probably noisy. So I'd recommend use a rogue, a warrior. If you're doing a troll, you could do a druid, but not a hunter or warlock. If you want to, it's fine. Just I warned you. And it'll be at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time on Monday the 9th. So since the realm we are going to be on is Blackrock, US Blackrock, it will be 12 o'clock p.m. server time. So 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock realm time on Monday the 9th. And I believe that's everything. I'll be streaming it on my channel, hopefully. Now that I've got my computer fixed, I should be able to live stream again. That was the problem with the last tournament, by the way, if I didn't mention that. before to y'all. I wasn't able to either get out a stream or a video of the last tournament that we did, which, by the way, Dragona won. Grats to her. It was awesome. She did very well. I think she beat me in the finals, if I remember right. But wasn't able to get a recording or live stream it because I had computer problems. But should be fixed now, so I should be able to live stream it if anybody wants to watch. And if you want to join us since it's your first time, feel free to leave a comment in this video or just tune into the live stream to let us know, and we'll be happy to wait for anybody who wants to join but maybe can't join for the has to join a little bit late. Usually what we'll do is we'll start getting together at around the time that the stream starts, but then we'll give everybody about 15-20 minutes in case people are straggling in, have to take care of other things before they can join us. And we'll be more than happy to wait for anybody. And even if you're not able to come for the tournament, we always have fun, just random battles after the fact that aren't related to the competition, but just everybody can bring whatever teams they want. If you just want to be, kind of try hard, you could play your super tier 1 teams and say, hey, Lenica, I bet I could beat you, and maybe I can try to, not lose too badly, and it could be a fun time. So, looking forward to that as always, but go ahead and start talking about the meta. The meta is going to be a little bit unique, where in the past we've always had a rule that you're not allowed to use more than one of a family type for a team. So for example, let me clarify that. You're not allowed to use more than one pet of each family type. So you're not allowed to use a Slithershock Elver and say a leopard. What's it called? A leopard tree frog? I don't even remember. Okay, bad example because I don't remember the name of my pets. You're not allowed to use an Orphan Fellbat and a Fledgling Oliveback because those are both flyers. You can't use a Hyjal Wisp and an Enchanted Broom because they're both magics, and so on and so forth. The flip that we're going to be doing this week, kind of turn on that rule, is it's going to be the exact opposite. You can't use more than one family type on a team. So all 3 of your pets have to be the same family type. So what you would be using is some sort of team with all 3 of them being undeads, or all 3 of them being aquatics, or all 3 of them being beasts, and so on and so forth through all the families. You can't use both an undead and a humanoid or something like that. They all have to be the same type, and there isn't going to be a rule against using the same family type against an opponent. So if you want, you can actually use multiple undead teams against the same opponent, or multiple humanoid teams against the same opponent. And that's important to me because since matches are 3 games against each opponent, I don't want someone to be in a position where they've already used aquatics and then they're just going to be easily beat by, undeads. So, if you're allowed to use the same family type against the same opponent as many times as you want. If you want, you could literally just play triple undeads for all 3 of your teams if you wanted. But since it is a team-based game, be prepared for people to start countering you if you want to try to do that. So, because everybody else on the team is going to be warned, hey, Lenika's using all undeads, make sure you have critters or something like that, or make sure you have aquatics just to counter. So but I am going to make that rule. However, we are going to keep the rule about not reusing pets. So if, for example, I'm fighting against Nathan and it isn't a draw, and I use a Frostwolf Ghost Pup, a Spirit Crab, and a Ghastly Kid in my first team, I'm not allowed to use any of these 3 pets against Nathan. Later on, I can use this same team against somebody else, but I can't use this team against Nathan again, any of these 3 pets. And, let me see. There is a ban list. There's 10 pets that are banned, so it's going to allow for a lot of really strong pets to be used, but I'm going to take those top 10 most annoying, in my opinion anyways, top 10 most annoying pets, and not allow them for anybody. It's going to be the Terraclaw Hatchling, the Blossoming Ancient, Brute, the Wicked Soul, the Emperor Crab, the Bone Serpent, the Fiendish Imp, the Anubisath Idol, the magical crawdad, and the singing sunflower. So those are the top 10 pets that I think are just really, really annoying to go up against. Some pets that I'll mention that are going to be allowed are the other breeds of basically the emperor crab, but you're not allowed to use the emperor crab or the magical crawdad. So you could use, say, a shore crab or a strand crab, but you can't use the emperor crab or the magical crawdad, even though they're basically the same pet. You know, say a shore crab. It has basically the same moveset as a crab. It's really that high attack power of the power emperor crab that makes it so tier 1. So much stronger than the other ones. It can single-handedly solo most teams, honestly, unless you have a very strong counter for it. So that's going to be those are pets that are allowed, but not the emperor crab. You can use a rebellious imp or a core fire imp, but you're not allowed to use the fiendish imp. So you are allowed to use the other two. What are their pets? Oh, you can use both the Ghastly Kid and the Unborn Valk. Those two haunters. You just can't use the Wicked Soul. He's so strong because he has that ridiculous speed and the team heals. He's a very, very clear cut above the other two haunt users. Wouldn't recommend using them on the same team though, since they both have haunt, and if you haunt and then haunt into a haunted target, your first haunt pet dies. A little confusing, but there is a bug. Just don't do that. It's a bad idea. Not a good team. And there is going to be a rule against using pets that are essentially the same on the same team. So that would mean pets like the Death Adder Hatchling and the Rose Typin. At the end of the day, yeah, you could run slightly different builds with them, but they're basically the same pet. So you can't use a Death Adder and a Rose Typin on the same team. You can't use, an Alpine Foxling and an Alpine Foxling kit on the same team, because at the end of the day, they're basically the same pet, just different breeds. Same goes with Crusher and an Ore Eater. Basically the same pet. You can't use them on the same team. I'm going to go ahead and group all moths together. So, sorry, Hiru, you can't use more than one moth on a team. And, it's because even though they might have slightly different basic attacks, at the end of the day, you're probably using either Heal or Cocoon Strike. And then, of course, Moth Dust. Moth Dust with that 3-round cooldown and just the 25% Lux chance to throw out a sleep. They all function basically the same way. What else would I consider to be the same pet? Of course, the Phosphor Rat and the Blind Rat. You can't use those on the same team. I'm going to lump all birds with Call Darkness and Nocturnal Strike as the same pet, so you can't use a Dread Hatchling and a Crow and a Owl, a Fledgling Warden Owl on the same team. You can't even use two of them on the same team. One note that I would give is I would probably allow you to do something like Crow and then maybe Icky, a bird that has Nocturnal Strike but doesn't have Call Darkness. I'd probably allow you to use those two because there's cross synergy of Call Darkness on one pet and then Nocturnal Strike on the other, but you definitely can't use two pets with both Call Darkness and Nocturnal Strike. That I would consider against the rules. Another example of pets that I'm not going to allow are going to be any of the trap pets. So even though there are 3 elementals with very contrasting move sets, they all have Magma Trap. And Magma Trap's pretty broken, but it's not broken enough where I'm just going to straight ban them, because I want to ban as few pets as possible. So what I am going to say is if you use a trap pet, like Little Ragnaros, you can't also have a Blazehound or a Magma Rageling on the same team. Because even though they are pretty different, Trap's OP, so you can't use more than one trap on a team. Rabbits, you definitely can't use more than one rabbit on a team. Even the Dark Moon Rabbit I would consider to be, you can't use, say, a Dust Bunny and a Dark Moon Rabbit. Even though they have different basic attacks, they both function kind of the same way, so can't do that. And in general, if it's a pet that's very, very, very similar to another pet that you're using, just don't put on the same team. You can use both pets against the same opponent even, but you can't use them on the same team. You couldn't use, say, Stinker and, a Highland Skunk, because they're the same pet, more or less. So I could go on for a long time. You know, you can't have a lot of turtles on the same team. You can't have a lot of snails on the same team. As to why you would want to make a team with 3 snails, I do not know. But I think you get my gist. And that's pretty much all of the rules as far as logistics go. I think I explained it. 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time right here on the map, on the crossroads between Orgrimmar and the Orc starting zone. Monday the 9th of October. Pretty sure I explained all the rules. If there's anything that you're wondering about, maybe it's your first time joining us and you just have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment. Just leave a comment in this video and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I'm able. And if there's anything else, I'll probably leave it all in the description, the most important rules. But I think that basically summarizes the important parts. I had a couple ideas for this tournament that I thought could really spice things up and make it a little bit more of an interesting mind game as far as choosing your teams. Like I was going to try, you know, maybe if you're down 2-0, then your opponent has to announce which family they were going to use. But I decided against some of those crazier rules and just to leave it a little bit simpler. Just do, you know, 1 point per, you know, battle that you win, and then just a cumulative tally at the end of the competition for which team wins. Maybe we'll try something like that in the future, but I thought it'd be a little too complicated since, I don't know if I mentioned this, but since there are going to be so many more battles, you know, if for example, if there's 10 people competing and there's 5 on each team, of course, everybody's going to be fighting 15 battles throughout the tournament. Since you're not eliminated if you lose, it's everybody keeps playing. Everybody's going to have to fight 15 battles, which means we're all going to be playing at the same time. We're not going to be waiting for each other, which means unfortunately you can't watch all of the tournaments at once or all of the fights going on. But I think that'll be a lot more fun. First of all, for the stream, because you know I'll be able to keep battling, you know, all day. And so instead of all this downtime where I'm having to watch battles from the outside, basically just like just as if it was two pets just fighting each other, and really I can't see any moves or anything. Instead of that, I'll be able to fight the whole time, and I think it'll be a lot more fun if everybody gets more battles. But that will of course mean everybody has to be battling all at the same time. So more than ever before, if you're in the Discord channel with us, I'll leave a link whenever everybody joins so that we can all talk together, and that's a lot of fun. But you know, if we're all talking at the same time and making a lot of noise, it will be very difficult for people to for people to understand what's going on. So most likely what I will do whenever I'm battling is I'll probably mute Discord so that I don't have to have interference whenever I'm commentating, and so that I don't also, you know, interfere with other people. So I'll probably just leave Discord just during the times that I am battling, and if you need to talk to me, just you just say something and I'll see that in party chat. But we'll see how it works. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and if it's a total disaster and it ends up being way too hard to organize, then we might go back to what we did before. But I'm really looking forward to it, looking forward to making some videos for y'all. So you know, of course, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to them, and I'll hope to see you all in next Monday's tournament. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.